Hello, we're the Douglas family. I'm Brian.
And I'm Katie. We've been married for 13 years and have 5 kiddos, ranging in age from almost 2 to 11 years old. And we've decided this year to do something crazy and start traveling the country.
And why would we want to do that with a bunch of kids? Well, they're only young ones, and we really want to be able to spend time with them now and not just travel when we're old and retired. So how are we going to do that?
Okay, well, first, we have a unique situation in which Brian works from home, so he works remotely and we can travel or go wherever we want to and he can still work. And I also homeschool our children, so we're not stuck in a certain state or county so the kids can go to school. So what did we do first when we decided we were going to do this?
Well, we bought a gigantic van. Since there are 7 of us, a minivan, while it works, it is a little tight. So we bought a 12-passenger van. It is larger, and we're hoping we can still fit everything in it with our children.
We also decided that we were going to sell our home instead of hold on to it while we were traveling. So we had to go through the process of selling our home and downsizing all of our junk that we've collected.
Yes, and it is a lot of junk.
So how do we decide what to get rid of? Good question.
That is a good question, because you go through everything and you're like, oh, maybe I need it for this, or oh, I really want to do this. But in reality, it's a lot of good intentions that we had at one point or another, and now it just doesn't matter as much because we'll be traveling and we need to get rid of stuff because we cannot take our entire house with us, as much as my wife or kids would sometimes like to do that.
Not true. We got one storage unit, so we have decided there are a few things that are just worth keeping. So we have one storage unit to store that stuff, and everything else fits in the van or it goes. So we've done yard sales, we've sold on Facebook Marketplace, we've sold on eBay, Mercari, things like that, which has been going pretty well. So we're still kind of in that process of downsizing and getting ready to go.
Yep, and hopefully in about 2 months from the time we post this video, we'll be on the road and have more updates for you.
Yeah, so how did we decide where we were going or what we were doing?
Well, we pretty much want to go everywhere. So we pretty much, well, I say we, but it was really Katie, went through state by state and figured out what in there we wanted to do. We really would like to go out west. Being on the East Coast, we have traveled up and down the East Coast a lot. So that's kind of where we started, and we're trying to figure out how to maximize our journey and be efficient about it.
We are also staying in Airbnbs. So a lot of times people full-time travel in RVs, which is great. But for us, we decided we didn't know a whole lot about that, didn't want to have to worry about maintenance, towing, a payment on an RV and all of those things. So we decided that we are going to travel in Airbnbs. So that's our plan.
Yep.
Okay, so some questions that we've gotten from people so far. Some people are super supportive and some people think we're crazy, but you know, that's cool too.
We are a little crazy.
It can't be not crazy with 7 of us, 5
Yes,
kids.
7 of us.
There are like
There are
5
7.
kids. Okay, so how do we afford to do this? That's the big question. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, you must be rich. We are not rich by any means. We obviously said that Brian can still work, so we still have an income, consistent income coming in. And when you think about it, you think about all your expenses, your mortgage, your utilities, your whatever
Your
else,
internet, your subscriptions and stuff like that. We don't need quite as many because obviously we're selling our home. We won't have anything in regards to that. And we've also prioritized that this is something that we really want to do. So maybe we're not buying the latest iPhone or buying a fancy new car. No, we did just buy a car, but it wasn't fancy or new. So it's just been something that we wanted to do, and we've made the budget for it.
We sacrifice in other things so that we can prioritize this for our kids. And we find ways to save along the way. Some of the subscription things or
The memberships?
Memberships, yes. There's a science museum membership, there's a zoo membership, a children's museum membership, which we actually have a blog all about that. So if you're interested in checking that out, go check out our blog.
Which we will have linked in the description.
Yes. So there are ways to save and do things that way too. I'm also looking for lots of cool local things like festivals and libraries locally to get to know people. So lots of free things to do as well, and exploring, riding bikes out in the neighborhood and things like that. So I think there'll be lots of things to do without spending a fortune.
Definitely.
Okay, somebody asked us how we travel with children, especially long trips.
It's difficult sometimes.
Not always easy, and some of our kids have been better travelers than others.
Yes.
Every kiddo has a backpack, and they get to pack what they want to put in it. So, the girls will take little Barbies and figures and things like that, and the boys might take some Legos and things like that. Then I pack a large
Very
large bag of things like coloring books, crayons, sticker books, all kinds of cool things you can find on Amazon. Little like Melissa and Doug water, put water in the pen and then you do the thing so
Water
it's not
refill.
messy. Yeah, lots of things like that. I collect those over months and months and months when there's deals or sales, and have those on hand for when things get kind of dicey. We do also do technology. They have DVD players. The older kids all have tablets, and we have a Nintendo Switch that they share. So we do, as much as I would love to not be a technology family, when you're traveling 10 plus hours a day, that just
Goes out the window.
yeah, that helps pass the time. And what's the other big thing? Food.
Food, yes. We have a giant bag of, usually several giant bags
Sure.
of snacks. And I always say there's no way we're gonna get through all these, and we usually do.
Yes,
So,
we do.
yes, large bags of snacks.
And once one snack happens, that's just they eat the rest of the trip.
Cascade.
Our kids also really love music, like Disney music, so we'll play like the Disney Pandora station, and all sing obnoxiously loud in the car together,
Yep.
and that passes time as well. We do try to stop about every 2 hours so that they can get out and run off some energy, and usually at least
Weak
one
bladders.
one of the kids has to go within that time frame. So we do lots of stops as well. Another question that we got was, which kid will miss a permanent home the most and why?
Definitely our eldest daughter. She seems to be the one that's most attached to our home and the most comfortable, like in her comfort zone. Kind of gets some anxiety when she's outside of that. I think that's a big component to that.
Our oldest son is 11, so I think his reservations are about friends. He says he's going to miss his friends, which we totally understand that, and have assured him that we will be back this way as much as in the summer or Christmas or whenever, so that he can get together with his friends then too. And then our third oldest was worried about his stuff. He didn't understand that like he could bring his stuff with us, or that it wasn't staying with the house when we sold the house. So once we assured him that he could take the stuff he wanted to, he seemed to be on board and okay with it. Someone asked us, are we still selling our house? And if we are, what are we gonna do when we come back here? We are selling our house. And we actually own a cabin not too far away. So in the summer when we come back, we'll just stay in the cabin. And then Christmas time is a different story.
Yes. Given that there's 7 of us, housing this can be difficult.
And we have a child that's terrified of animals, and both of our parents have animals.
Yep.
So we're trying to navigate what we're gonna do for Christmas. So Brian's family has a cabin that we may be able to stay in for a little bit while we're here in the winter, but we haven't quite finalized that or figured that out yet. So
And we'll cross that bridge when we get to
a lot
it.
of learning as we go in this whole experience. Anything else?
I think that's about it. If you want to see more from us, please subscribe, and you can follow us on X and Facebook and Instagram, and definitely on our blog as well. So thank you for watching.